Hey everybody, welcome to EMC 303 Cardiology. I'll be your instructor, Dr. Bill Young. Cardiology is actually my favorite course to teach, and I'm lucky in that I get to teach both the Introduction to Cardiology class as well as the Advanced Cardiology class. But today, what I want to do is I want to take just a few moments and go over the syllabus with you so that you'll know what your expectations are. The syllabus can be found over here to the left under course documents. When you click on that, it'll bring it up with a hyperlink. Just click on that and that will open the syllabus for you. Again, one of the things I want to stress to you is that if you need to talk with me for any reason, email me. I do my best to respond to emails within one business day, with the exception of maybe over a Saturday. And typically, I'll respond much quicker than that, usually within an hour or two. So the best way to get in touch with me is by email. The other thing is, if you begin to struggle, and I gotta tell you, EMC 303 is a challenging course because we're laying the groundwork for all of the material that you're going to need to know as a paramedic. You don't want to get behind on this because, trust me, it's difficult, if not impossible, to catch up. So if you need help talking about something that's going on, you're not getting the material, maybe you got something going on in your life that's conflicting with the course itself, you want to set up some tutoring, some review, you can either email me or in my email signature line, and I'll share this link with you a little bit later on. There's a link that you can click on that will show you my availability, and you can line it up with your availability so that you are able to come in and meet and chat with me. Now, as far as what's required, I need you to get ECG Workout by Jane Huff. I need the 6th edition. This is an awesome book because I pull a lot of my lectures out of that. I pull a lot of the actual EKG strips that you're going to see on both your quizzes and on your exams from this very book. There are literally thousands of EKGs for you to look at. Learning to read an EKG is much like learning a foreign language. And instead of looking at letters, what we're going to be doing is looking at bumps and intervals and spaces so that we can put those all together and decipher and learn a new language. And that's why I like the Huff book. There are lots and lots of opportunities for you to practice and to get the answer. The other thing I want to tell you is I want you to get a laser pointer, and you're going to need that probably by week 3. That's going to be critical because I like to ask lots of questions in class. I like to call on students. Helps me know if you're understanding the material or not. And one of the things I like to do is I like to say, well, show me where the P wave or the QRS is on this particular EKG. Rather than having you walk up to the front, we just use the laser pointer. Now, I've got it on here that you can get them off of Amazon for about $15. But a student told me a couple, 3 years ago that if you go to the dollar store, you can literally get them for about $1. You don't want to spend a ton of money on that. You're college students, you don't have any money. I don't want you to spend any money that you don't have. So make sure that you have that by the 3rd week of class. Now, I've got something highlighted in here that's critically important. You're going to need to study outside of class an average of 10 to 12 hours just for this single class. And that's pretty much going to be true for any of your other EMC classes as well. If you are struggling with the classwork, you got to let me know. You got to contact me. Please don't wait. Every year, every semester, I teach this class every semester. I'll have students that come to me the last week and say, I need some help for the final exam. I just don't know how to read EKGs. And my response is, I don't want to be mean, but you're pretty much out of luck because I can't teach you to learn all of the EKGs, and we're going to learn probably about 40 or 50 of them in 1 week. That's why we take an entire semester. And so it's going to be critical for when you start to struggle, because most people do, you let me know as soon as you possibly can. Now, it's critically important that you are in class and you are in class on time. One of the things I pride myself on is I try not to waste your time. Your time is valuable. So we start on time and we always end on time. One of the ways that I do that is with kind of like a carrot and a stick. The carrot is if you'll look in your EMC 303 grade book, you'll find that you have already started off this class with 100 as an exam score. We'll talk about the weighting of those in just a minute. So everybody in this class already has an A. What you do with that A is going to be entirely up to you. As far as that great start grade that it's labeled there, that everybody has 100 on, here's the parameters, and that's your carrot. Here's the stick part. If you are absent or if you are late, even by 1 minute, I will drop that grade by 5 points each time that occurs. Now, I do have a couple of things for excuses. Number one, if you're sick and you send me a doctor's note, I'll count it as an excuse, won't take the points off. The other thing is if you have required military duty and you provide documentation for that, I won't take those points off. But pretty much for everything else, you're going to lose points if you are late or if you are absent. Now, if you're coming from the other side of the campus and you're having to utilize campus transportation by way of the shuttle bus, please let me know by writing by the end of this, in writing by the end of this week, so I can give you a little bit of a buffer there. I don't want to penalize you because maybe the shuttle buses are running later or whatever. So, but you got to let me know about that. Again, if you need to meet with me, I don't have set office hours. Feel free, if my door is open, to stop and chat. If I'm tied up with something, I'll let you know. Most of the time, I don't have anything that's more important than spending time and talking with you guys. But the best way, if you need some dedicated time with me, is to schedule an appointment. Now, I strongly encourage electronic devices in the classroom, okay? But here's my rule. If your cell phone, computer, tablet, or anything goes off in the class and I can hear it, you'll get a obscure medical problem that you'll have to write a report on that will be size 12 font, 1-inch margin, and single spaced with a minimum of 5 scientific peer-reviewed references that'll be due by your next class. So for example, let's say your cell phone goes off in class on Monday. You got to have that to me by Wednesday. If you don't have it to me by Wednesday, you get a 0. You get a 0 as a quiz score. Turnabout is fair play. If my cell phone goes off, I will give everybody a 100% as a quiz grade. Okay, so that's important for you to kind of remember in there. Understand that things change, and so we may have to make some changes to the syllabus as we go through. If I do have to make changes, I will let you know about them just as soon as we possibly can. You will have assignments every single week in Blackboard. Maybe a rare time of when I don't put something on there, such as like during midterm or during spring break. I don't give you any assignments, but you got to have those done by the deadline. Now, with any quizzes that I've got in there, here's the thing that I do. You can take those quizzes as many times as you want until you get the grade that you want. You're not going to get the answer right away because I don't want you just to do process of elimination. But you can use your book. You can use other materials. You can take it as a group. And so, again, please don't come to me at the end of the semester and ask for extra credit because I'm giving you your extra credit now. EMC 303 is a critical course if you want to move on to the paramedic advanced sequence. We have that sequence that starts in the fall every year. We only have one entry point. If you do not pass 303, you cannot enroll in the advanced sequence until you do so. Now, in order to exit the program, you got to have an 80%. We have an enhanced grading scale in the paramedic program. And as you can see here, here's your criteria for grading. Your exams are going to carry 40% of your grade. Your final exam, and it will be cumulative, will also be another 40%, and then your quizzes or any other assignments that I give you over the course of the semester will be 20%, and you can see the letter grade there. I've got a number of items there under the testing and evaluation policy, but the key thing here is, guys, please don't cheat. You're coming into emergency medicine. You're going to be going into people's houses at their most vulnerable moment. They're not going to be thinking about their valuables and their possessions in their house. If I can't trust you to take in the exam and be honest on it, I can't trust you to go out and take care of patients. So there are some pretty severe repercussions up to and possibly being decertified and losing your license from the State Board of EMS if you cheat in class. So let's just do this. Don't cheat. I'm going to be available for extra help if you need it, but just don't cheat. All right, so late submission of assignments. I typically don't give you any extra time. You have a week or longer for each assignment. And so just make sure that you follow those deadlines, including the deadline for this week, which I think in each one, both your quiz assignment as well as your discussion board assignment, you've got a Thursday deadline for both of them. In the discussion board assignment, it's your first post has to be put in there by Thursday, and then you have to reply to two of your classmates by Sunday at midnight. I put that first Thursday deadline in there so that it gets in there early enough that your fellow classmates and peers will have time to look at your posts and to respond to them. Here's the inclement weather schedule. We're starting out with it on the first day. I know tomorrow all your classes, although this class doesn't meet until Wednesday, have been moved to online. And we'll do the same thing if things pop up. I do a fair bit of travel for organizations such as the National Association of EMS Educators, also for the National Registry. I work on several projects and I write questions for them. The benefit of that is that you get kind of like the Wizard of Oz. You get the curtain pulled back and you can see the man behind the curtain or see how the test itself is developed. I won't share any questions with you, but trust me, the questions that you'll see on my exams are very, very similar to what you'll see on your paramedic exam. And I do that purposely because I only want you to take that exam once. And so if I have to be out for a meeting or a project, we may meet by Zoom, even though the weather is fine, or we may have simply a recorded lecture. There's the accommodation statement. If you need help, if you learn differently than others, make an appointment with the accommodations office. It's very confidential. Once they do some testing, they'll come up with a plan. They'll share that plan with you. They'll share that plan with me as the instructor, and we will both work together to make sure that you are successful. Each week, I will post what you need to be doing, and what I'm going to try to do starting this week is put up 2 weeks worth of material for those of you that are those really overachievers and who try to just really want to get ahead. And so that way, if you get all your work done, then you can have a little bit of extra time to start on your next week's assignment. Again, my name is Dr. Young. I'm going to be your instructor. The biggest thing I want you to take away from this, watch your deadlines. Those are pretty much set in stone. And number two, if and when you have problems with this class, please come to me. I can't stress that enough. Come to me early. Come to me often. We will get you through this class. So everybody stay warm, and we will see you in our face-to-face class starting on Monday of next week.